flesh.
This is what Satoshi. Yeah, what would you consider? Is that trading card plastic?
Foam.
Bob's feeling it. Bob, what do you think it is?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's like a rubbery.
It's a rubber foam.
It's a rubber foam.
Yeah, it's rubbery.
Anyways, for anyone tuning in, you are listening to the Simply Bitcoin News Desk backstage at Unconfiscatable. Really excited to have a great panel with us. And of course, my legendary co-host, who is also a legend at Missing Flights. We have Optimus Fields.
Okay, here we go. Here's about the flights.
Opti has missed 2 flights this year, and I have to pay for them every single time. Anyways, Aladdin, how you doing, man? Are you enjoying the conference?
Good, buddy. No, it's been amazing. Vegas is Vegas.
Vegas is Vegas. That's
We'll talk
right.
about the conference. We won't talk about after the conference.
Is it? I mean, it's very unique. Like it's very special. It also, there's something about tone. Like his personality fits in this because I know how much he loves poker.
Yes.
So it's like a very fitting, this venue, this city, this event. Is there any panels that have stuck out to you? Are there any memorable moments that you've had so far?
Really, just being able to hang out with all the Bitcoiners is the most amazing thing for me, and being able to collaborate with Tone on doing these trading cards we have for the conference is really cool. Makes it extra special.
Right.
We've got a couple extra special people in the pack that are actually sitting right next to me. So this one and that one over there. So it makes it extra special.
So I was really lucky enough to get the Nico Joker card. I'm going to open this one live on air so you guys can see it. The Unconfiscatable Bitcoin trading cards pack. Let's open it. Let's see what we got here. We got a Bitcoin. Oh my God. We did get a Nico.
Show it.
We got a Nico. Wow.
How many of those are there?
Holy cow.
The magic of the cards right there. So there's only 500 of those cards that will ever exist. So Nico is one scarce character.
That's wrong camera, Murphy.
Well, there's 498 now available, right?
498 now available because
Nico's taking 2 off the market.
Yeah, and I'm not giving those away. Oh man.
It's like lost Bitcoin.
So
exactly.
we also have, I'm very, very lucky to have Bob with us today. Bob, Barefoot Mining, absolutely inspirational. The event that you guys threw with Ocean was absolutely phenomenal. For anyone who's not in the know, they announced the first decentralized mining pool, and you had Luke Dash Jr., Jack Dorsey at the event. It was absolutely incredible. Of course, the legendary Bitcoin mechanic. And you know, they christened the project, and they broke a champagne bottle on an ASIC. It was very, very special. Bob, that was I didn't know how incredible that event was until like it started happening, really.
Yeah. Well, I'm so glad you could come. And it's very difficult to describe to people, at least our vision for that event, because it was very unique. And most of these are at a convention center or hotel or, whatever. In this particular case, we wanted to do something special. And I haven't ever opened it up to the public before. I actually don't talk about it very frequently, but we have a hydroelectric facility in South Carolina. It's a facility that we rebuilt from scratch. It was originally built in 1888. And we've been mining off grid, or as I call it, wild mining, for several years there now. But we think it fit with what we're trying to do with Ocean, which is the mining world, specifically the mining pool world, has some issues today. There are only about 12 pools in the world actually mining blocks, or more specifically, creating block templates. And that's a major risk. And it needs to be corrected now before it gets any worse. And so we thought the spirit of a wild mining site matches perfectly with what we're trying to do there, which is ultimately what we're trying to do with Ocean is now have thousands of different people creating block templates. And I'd say the key value proposition of Ocean is our vision that miners, or what we call miners, that really, for the most part today, just do hashing, will again start creating block templates like they did 10 years ago.
Yeah, and the Where'd my Nico card go, Opti?
It's in there. And shouts out to Big Sean Harris. It's a Big Sean Harris
my
card.
distracting me while Bob's dropping all this signal. So yes, there's 12 mining pools. There's F2 pool. There's Foundry. And it was not too long ago, Bob, to add to your point, that the F2 pool founder was openly admitting that he was censoring certain Bitcoin transactions. And that's a very slippery slope, right? That plays right into the narrative of the OFAC compliant. We know that Marapool, I think it was in 2021, they released the first OFAC compliant pool until the community just absolutely went bonkers. Right. So it's incredibly important. I think a lot of people don't understand this. As users of Bitcoin, they don't really appreciate the infrastructure backing it all.
Yeah, pools, there's a lot of controversy, by the way. There's a lot of people throwing around a lot of different words about censorship or filtering or those sort of things. But the truth of the matter is that when you only have 12 companies doing this, 12 organizations, it's going to happen either of their own accord or they're going to be forced to do it. One of those two things will happen, probably both. And the other thing is that with pool template creation today, and for those of you who aren't familiar with it, there's, for instance, as we sit here today, there's roughly 250,000 transactions that sit within the mempool. And at the time a new block, a block has been mined and we have to start mining the next one, roughly each of these 12 companies goes out and selects whatever transactions they wish to put in the next block. And it's usually about 3,000 transactions. So we'll call it, for ease of, only 1% are getting picked each time, right? So what criteria are they going to use to pick those? Most people think it's the most expensive ones that get put in, but there's a lot more that goes to it. For instance, Binance, which is one of the 5 biggest pools in the world, typically picks their own transactions first at the lowest fees. Meaning, is that censorship? Well, maybe it is, because what they're doing is they're saying that, let's say there were 100 transactions of theirs in that selection. Well, there's 100 of somebody else's that aren't getting in, even that would have paid a much higher fee. Now, to me, some people would say that's censorship. I would say that's filtering, but I'd also honestly support them and say that's their prerogative. But it's why we need thousands of people creating these templates, and they each can make their own decisions. And some people might say, well, I don't like transactions created on Mondays because I hate Mondays. So I'm never going to mine a transaction created on Monday. So God bless you. You go try to mine that block. And other people may just say, I'm going to pick the most expensive ones, regardless of whether there's an ordinal or an inscription in there. Other people might say, I think that's spam and I don't want to participate in that. And I think we each have our own ability to do that, but collectively we get the power and the decentralization that we really need.
Yeah, and that's the key point there. And there's something about your presentation. I love the way that you described it. You described miners themselves as elephants, horses, and rabbits, right? And it was very, very fitting because, a horse is fast, it's mobile, but it's still pretty big. The rabbit is, the pleb miner at home. There's so many of them, they're very hard to find. And then there's the big mother effing elephants, right? Which are the large industrial miners. And that was such an incredible description, just kind of like really seeing it. And if you connect that with the current regulatory and political landscape, whether you have, predominant senators like Senator Elizabeth Warren, like literally vocally saying we should ban this stuff. Wall Street Journal accusing the industry of funding terrorism. And, the numbers came out that turned out to be blatantly false. But what I'm trying to say is that these political attacks are increasing. Also, the U.S. government gets a tremendous amount of power from weaponizing the money through the U.S. sanction policy. So if Bitcoin does become more popular, and I think it will, we wouldn't be here if we didn't think that. I think the U.S. government's going to say, look, this is an open monetary network. And are bureaucrats really going to be okay with their worst enemies using the system? So what are they going to try to do? They're going to try to censor, and they're going to try to impose the existing system onto the new system. And I think you touched upon this. You see it from a faraway vantage point, and I think there's something deeper to that, Bob, because I'm a talking head. I'm a broadcaster. I cover the news, but you're seeing it from the miner's perspective, from someone who has skin in the game, someone who's actually running these machines. And that's why your site was so absolutely incredible, because if you didn't show it to us, that's completely off grid. You know, it was using a turbine, it was using the river to, power these miners. So I want to get your thoughts on that.
Yeah, well, there's a lot there. By the way, you're selling yourself short as a talking head, but but you do a lot of good for the community. As you said, if we think of sites really based on the size of the site as a rabbit, a horse, or an elephant, the first thing I'll say is, if you think of that as an ecosystem must be balanced. Otherwise, it's not healthy. And so if we move toward a world that's all elephants, it'd be like having a safari in Africa with only lions. It's not going to work, right? And elephants, while they're big and powerful, they're also easy to hunt. So when the day comes, and it will, when an Elizabeth Warren or Elizabeth Warren lookalike has the right political clout, they're going to come looking. And what are they going to do? They're going to hunt elephants. Mm-hmm. And hunting rabbits really hard, though. And the moment the rabbits know somebody's trying to hunt them, they're going to scatter.
Yep.
And you're never going to find them all. And so, and to a certain degree, the same with the horses, right? Kind of in the middle. Now, if you also combine that, by the way, with only 12 pools in the world creating templates, now you got a real problem. If you have a world with 12 pools and let's say 50 elephant sites, we're screwed. And so hopefully what I'm helping provide is some thought processes about the longer term too. So one of the things I said in the talk at the event was, I like to think about 1,000-year horizon. In fact, I'm going to expand on that when I talk here tomorrow. But just kind of a preview of that is, I think if you think about things with 1,000-year lens instead of the short-term lens. If you're in a short-term lens, you're thinking about the spot ETF and whether Bitcoin is 43,000 or 44,000 today. If you think in 1,000-year lens, then you think about things like, hey, how does Bitcoin survive for centuries? How does it become immune to attack for centuries? And how do I make this world a better place for not only my kids and my grandkids, but several generations down the world? And that's where I'm trying to come from. And I think things like that site that you got to witness in the long run are a key to the security and resiliency of the network.
Yeah, 100%. And I just wanted to add to this. And so this is all and I call myself a talking head, but really this is a battle for the freedom of mankind. And it's a war on all fronts. So on education, which I'm going to pass it on to Aladdin, because you have a very, very interesting way at tackling education, because that's really the way that I see this. The way that we win in the political sphere is we win on the cultural sphere, right? Politics is downstream from culture. How do we orange pill people? We do that by making more podcasts, making music, making art, anything that's considered the arts, anything that's going to affect culture. And your company, your project, Bitcoin Trading Cards, I got super lucky pulling the Nico card. I don't know how that happened. And it was totally not planned, by the way.
Yeah, right.
But you got some other ones here. Dude, how was I supposed to plan that? Did it have like a secret number in the back? No. But you have some other ones in here featuring very predominant Bitcoiners. Of course, you have the legendary Sean Harris, part of the meme factory that doesn't exist. Also, the halving party is coming. You have Carla and Walker, extremely talented content creators. You have the Not Your Keys, Not Your Bitcoin. So I'm going to put you on the spot, Aladdin. What is your favorite Bitcoin trading card?
That's a really hard one. It's only been out a couple of days, so I'm still warming up to it. I've got to say that creating Satoshi characters to me is like an artist's wet dream.
Hold on. This is fascinating. I think you buried the lead out there. You call it Satoshi characters. Yes. Why is that?
Because Satoshi is such a mystery. Okay. So as a creator, as an artist that wants to create things that don't have any boundaries, where we can just keep going and going, creating different renditions of Satoshi is unlimited because we really don't know. We just have little bits and pieces that we get to put together and create these ideas. So in working with Bob, that was one of the greatest things when we started creating the Mother Satoshi. Like, that was such an incredible creative responsibility for one, but experience to be able to create that idea. So that with Bob and Lola being able to do that, it was like a dream come true. And then that idea is building on itself. And I mean, who knows where that can end up going, which is really special. And then creating this Satoshi character, which is one of my favorites, but we've got multiple. We've got the halving. It's like an unlimited canvas that we just get to keep going and going on. And I got to say that that's probably my favorite. Can I say what Satoshi exactly? Probably Mother Satoshi.
Okay. The Mother Satoshi. That's the second card I wanna get. I'm gonna read some of the before I pass it on to Bob. You have the DCA in here. This is one of my favorite books, the Fiat Standard. I was actually listening to the audiobook version on the way here. It's so crazy how much fiat breaks society, and people are just completely unaware of that. Aladdin mentioned, Bob, you were involved. I didn't know that. I didn't know.
Yeah.
Wow. What's going on
I've
there?
I've been an advisor on the project since before it was public, before we launched. And actually, Adam Meister connected me to Aladdin. So Adam's here at Unconfiscatable. So hat tip to him. And, what was really cool was the Bitcoin trading cards was launched originally at Pacific Bitcoin 2022. And I remember the moment that the vision for Mother Satoshi came together. A couple things came together. One was I've always had this concept that Satoshi might be female. And that came from the fact that who else but a mother could create something, and take it all the way to the point of being ready to go out in the world and conquer the world and then walk away. It's what a mother does to her child. So I've always felt that. In fact, Lola has a shirt, Satoshi is female. Some of you may have seen other women in the community do that. But then we were at Pacific Bitcoin, and it was a wonderful event. Aladdin and the team had done a great job getting that ready, but we realized how male dominant everything within the series was. And so we started talking like, hey, we really should come up with something that represents the female side of the community and of Satoshi. And that led to the creation of Mother Satoshi. And Lola, my wife, happens to be a bodybuilder. And we thought, well, using her as the model for Mother Satoshi, kind of a strong, mature woman, was
full of proof of work.
Yeah. And she's definitely proof of work. And obviously I'm biased, but I thought she was a perfect choice for that.
That blows my mind, the interconnectivity, and it's between really all of us, right? We just kind of all working together from different walks of life, different backgrounds, and we all have this common goal, right? This common goal of pushing Bitcoin forward, contributing on where our backgrounds come from, whether that's media, taking over the culture, one trading card at a time, or continuously pushing for decentralizing the hash rate and increasing the hash rate on these off-grid sites where no one knows. I'm wondering, Bob, was that the most badass one, or do you have one like in the middle of nowhere that you can't speak of?
What's funny is
pleads the fifth.
Somewhat I'll plead the fifth. It's one of the things as a miner. Miners, I've always found it weird. Like, if somebody went to one of us and said, how much Bitcoin do you have? We'd kind of be offended by the question. We're not going to answer it, right?
What's Bitcoin?
Right. Exactly. Well, I don't know why miners are so public about how much they have. It makes no sense to me. Obviously, for a public mining company, you kind of have to. But if you're a private miner, why do you want somebody to know how many sites you have and how many megawatts and how much hash power? I mean, it's basically saying how much Bitcoin you have. It's the same thing. So it's why I'm very transparent, open person. At least I hope people see that in me. But what I will say is I'm working on a lot of them. And we still do some captive stuff. I call captive on grid, because you're beholden to somebody. And I believe the only path to sovereignty in mining is through controlling your own energy. So, we're working on things in the gas area where we're working on things with biomass, using methane from decomposition, essentially. And of course, hydro. But that one will always be my favorite.
Hydro.
Is that in that particular one, because it was where the concept for me kind of came together of wild mining, and it embodied it. And I guess I mentioned it a little bit before, but we took a textile mill that had been built in 1888. None of this had worked for over 20 years, and we brought it back to life, and it mines Bitcoin in the wild. And I'm not sure I can ever top that.
Gotcha. Well, absolutely incredible. Gentlemen, please keep fighting the good fight. We're going to bring up our next guest on the news desk. I really want to thank both of you for coming. And of course, Satoshi, the mystery, the mascot coming on as well. Thank you a lot and really appreciate it. And thank you, Bob. Like always, pleasure.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Guys, you're listening to the Simply Bitcoin News Desk backstage at Unconfiscatable. We're about to bring on the legendary one and only Tone Vays.
The man of the hour. The man of the hour.
Man of the hour himself. This is one of my favorite conferences. Tone's personality is just so built into it. It is in Las Vegas, Nevada. So if you guys are tuning in just now, Tone Vays is about to join us on stage or on the panel, and we're going to chat.
Man, what a great combo with Bob, though. That was awesome.
Yeah,
Let's go.
Great. And Aladdin, thank you so much, Aladdin, for joining us. So we have the legendary Tone Vays, OG Bitcoiner, and the organizer of this conference. For anyone, we are streaming this to the Tone Vays channel on YouTube and to Simply Bitcoin on Twitter. And of course, the Unconfiscatable Spaces on Twitter, co-hosting with Simply Bitcoin. So I want to welcome Tone. Tone, thank you so much for joining us on the news desk.
Nico, thank you. Yeah, you guys did a great job with this desk over at BitBlock Boom with Gary. And it was awesome that you guys wanted to do it here as well.
Yeah, man, we're going to do, hopefully we do it even better next year, but we're super happy to come to another Unconfiscatable. This was one of my first Bitcoin conferences. I had such a great experience. I entered into the poker tournament last year. I made it to the final table, never played a poker tournament before. I had so much fun. Never forget that. Great memories.
And you didn't play this year. You took your winnings and went home, and you kept them in sats during the bull market.
100 million%. Yeah, I was thinking, I was like, am I really going to push my luck? Did you play this?
I did play. I ended up we only had 50 players this year. I think I finished somewhere in the low 40s, so I was out fairly early. I was in 3 crazy hands during that time early on. Real quick, I went in an ill-advised. There was an all-in. For those of you that know poker, the flop was deuce jack. We ended up betting after the flop. I got pushed all in, and I called him. I had pocket queens, but TC had pocket aces.
Oh, man.
But I pulled a queen on the river. So that's not the hand I lost on. The hand I lost on was a pre-flop all in. He had ace king. I also had ace king, but his was suited, and he pulled a flush on the river. That wasn't TC. That was somebody else. But that was Tony. Tony from Viva Bitcoin. And he knocked me out because we had this. I'm like, oh, it's most likely going to be a chopped pot. But he ended up with a flush because his ace king was suited.
Damn, that's absolutely crazy. Bro, poker's a trip. Tone really got me into poker. We organized this poker kind of group in Miami. I've been going to some of the games. I played poker here and there, but Tone really got me into it. And I really want to talk about the Unconfiscatable branding and feel for anyone who had.
Speaking of the Unconfiscatable branding, if anyone here can grab my Unconfiscatable hat, it's at the front of the conference room. Next to my laptop. Cool. Thank you. You got a bunch of hats up here.
Oh, yeah. So the branding, it's like a representation of U-Tone. Like, I gotta say, I'm looking at this, it has poker built into it. It's in Las Vegas, Nevada.
Is that your card?
I did.
I haven't seen any of these cards. The first card I'm looking at, and it's Nico as the Joker. Wow.
It was the first card I opened. It was the first pack I opened. I got
your
Nico.
own card?
I got a wild Nico.
It's a what? Wow.
Yeah.
I actually have not even seen my own card yet.
Yours is pretty badass. I'm not gonna lie.
I know. I haven't had time to stop by the desk. These are cool.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. Well, we're doing spades this year, so I think I have to keep this going at least 3 more years to get all the suits covered. Man, conferences, it's so hard. Like, people don't realize how hard it is to put this on, and even harder to actually sell tickets, because everyone thinks they need to get something for free.
Yeah. No, it's
really hard. It's really hard.
No, these events are incredibly difficult. Rustin, could you position it in the front? Thanks, brother. Just do it. No shame. All good.
Oh, it's fine. This is there's no technical difficulties with these streams because I'm not the one streaming on my own channel.
We are technically streaming on your channel.
Well, it's not me, which is why there isn't like audio or crazy problems like doxing my phone number and like my private keys.
Wait, let's talk about that, Tone. You've been making content. You're a Bitcoin OG content creator. When did you start?
So, it kind of just happened. So when I quit my Wall Street job in early 2015, at the worst time, by the way, like I tell all my friends, and I know some of them want to quit, whether they're in the crypto space, they're not in the crypto space, and they want to quit. And I tell them, don't ever quit. Like, wait to get like fired, and keep getting that paycheck and keep putting it into Bitcoin. One of the biggest mistakes I did was in very early 2015 when Bitcoin was at the depths of the bear market. I made a mistake of telling my Wall Street employer that I, intend on moving on, but I'm willing to like stick around for 6 months and train a replacement. And that was a bad move on my part. I was young and stupid, because when you do that to an employer, and they're like, okay, we'll get back to you in 48 hours. And the answer is always, if you're not happy here, just leave in 2 weeks. That's kind of how it goes. And I'm like, oh shit, I really thought I can get 6 months of Wall Street salary to buy Bitcoin at $250. And that never happened. So probably one of my biggest mistakes. And right after that, I wasn't sure what I was going to do. I just didn't want to do that. I was going to trade. I knew what I wanted to do. I wanted to trade, but it's a very risky business. And trading is boring. You think trading is fun, but in reality, you're sitting in a basement with 8 monitors. And it's good, but it doesn't really fit my personality. Even though I am a trader, I don't want to sit in the basement all day. Though I was making decent money, but I also wanted to travel, because I didn't start traveling until I was in my 30s.
Yeah.
I just never traveled. I was always broke until I got a good job, and then I just kept working my ass off at that job. And I'm like, you know what? I want to travel. So I started traveling public speaking, and immediately people really liked what I had to say. I immediately started getting invited on podcasts like this. And that led to me being a consistent guest on the World Crypto Network. And that already started by mid 2015, right away. And then I launched my own channel in October of 2016.
Yeah, and that's a big part of, I've gotten to know you over the years, Tone. That's a big part of who you are is traveling. And so you have Unconfiscatable, which is in Las Vegas, but you have the other event that you throw, which is absolutely phenomenal. I went to the one in the Dominican Republic, by the way. It was a great time. And of course, I'm talking about the Financial Summit. And I know that you throw those events in various locations, not only in the one I went to is Dominican Republic, but you've thrown some in Dubai, you've thrown some in Bali. Tone's been trying to tell me, he's like, Nico, go to the one in Bali. Why don't you tell everyone a little bit about that?
Yeah, the other event is called the Financial Summit. It's a 4 to 5 day retreat for traders, money managers, VCs, and it's designed more as like a vacation. So it's very high-end resorts. It is for the higher net worth crowd. We stay at ridiculous 5-star resorts. We try to rent out as much as we can, so we're secluded. Like it's kind of like this event as well. Like we don't share this conference floor with anybody. We're the only conference at the hotel. I kind of like this kind of exclusivity thing where we're just going to rent out the whole thing. So we try to find small resorts where we can rent out the whole thing with like 40, 50 rooms. And it feels like we have the resort all to ourselves. That's basically how it felt like in DR, didn't it?
Yeah, I mean, so like Tone's talking about a resort, but the quote unquote resort in the DR was a fucking castle. It was a castle with like this like internal waterfall, and it was right on the beach, and it was absolutely beautiful. And you had some of the brightest minds, like just traders, like giving education and all that stuff. And it was a very, very exclusive event. You know, like there wasn't anyone just random there. It was just like people that were, you know, very successful in business, very successful traders or influencers. I got to meet and we became good friends after that. Ben Gagnon. At the Financial Summit.
Oh, he's going to be here tonight.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
He's coming tonight. Yeah.
Sweet.
He'll be on the panel tomorrow about mining.
Yep.
There's going to be an awesome mining debate tomorrow with Bob Burnett, because he kind of raised this topic, whether publicly traded miners are good or bad for the Bitcoin space. His argument is that publicly traded miners are more of a problem for Bitcoin than a solution. And it's interesting because one of our favorite people is Ben Gagnon, who is the chief mining officer at a publicly traded mining company. And he's a straight up Bitcoiner. And it's going to be an awesome discussion between him and Bob Burnett, whether publicly traded miners are good or bad for Bitcoin's decentralization.
Yeah, I'm really excited for that panel. I think I'm moderating it, so it should be a lot of fun. And that discussion, and let's see. You know, I'm really interested to hear what Ben's take is going to be. And of course, me and you just we came back from the Ocean event in right. South Carolina.
Yeah, shout out to Ocean for sponsoring us. They're our biggest sponsor here. We try not to rate one sponsor above the other, but Ocean has really helped us out with support of this event. Yep. Yeah. So huge shout out to them.
Yeah, and Opti's going to pull up the Ocean site so you guys can check it out. But you guys can switch your hash rate to the Ocean website right now. It's live.
You should switch your hash rate to Ocean.
There you go. Ocean.xyz. It's the first decentralized Bitcoin mining pool. It is a historic. It was a historic moment, really.
It is. There's still some debates over their decentralization, but some of the decentralized features are still going to be added as the mining pool grows and grows. But there's always these debates like over a person and their view on privacy and censorship and decentralization. And here's what frustrates me about this argument, right? Is that you take shitcoiners versus Bitcoiners, for example. And my biggest frustration with it is when it comes to true Bitcoiners, like the core dev guys and some of the other, they are brutally honest about the limitations of what they're building and what they're doing. So they'll say, yeah, I'm building this decentralized thing, but it's not perfectly decentralized, and there's this little problem and that little problem and that little problem. Meanwhile, the shitcoiners and the person building it, by the way, has like a 15-year history of programming some of the most privacy things ever, right? Like programming for Signal or programming, like helping out with Tor. Like the person has a history of like programming decentralized stuff and privacy stuff. And he'll tell you that this is not perfect. And then you have shitcoiners that are coming from some of the most centralized evil places, and they put up these advertisements. This is perfect. It is decentralized, where none of it is. And somehow what they say and their history makes them perfect, and the honest guys are somehow get criticized left and right. Have you noticed this a lot?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's the allure. I think the allure of, first of all, the unit bias of Bitcoin is extremely strong, right? I think Bitcoiners have a tendency to just be extremely brutally honest. And it's what you said. We describe it as trade-offs, and shitcoiners describe it as like, we have the perfect environmentally friendly token that we can either increase or decrease the inflation rate and change the monetary policy at a whim. We've had hundreds of years of that type of experimentation, and it's been a disaster.
And the crazy thing is that when their shit blows up and fails, they just say, "Oh, we tried."
Yep.
Like,
sorry. I mean, and they get rich in the process too.
Sorry for your loss.
And they get rich in the process too. So yeah, man, it's crazy. So what panels? So we have the mining debate tomorrow. I'm really excited for that. What other panels are you excited about, or what other panels have happened?
The panels that have happened mostly have been focused a little bit more on privacy, like Nostr and the Liquid sidechain, more like freedom technology. There was a panel on freedom technology that Jimmy Song moderated. I also did a fireside chat with the owner of this hotel and casino, the D, who's also the owner of the Circa. This was the first Vegas casino that had a Bitcoin ATM. And it was a good chat about Bitcoin and how Bitcoin could be more prevalent in the gambling industry because it's so useful for the gambling industry. So check out that fireside chat. I was asking him, hey, is there going to be a slot machine denominated in sats? What about the Bitcoin poker tournament that we do? Can we start doing it here at the hotel one day? We just use a private venue, and also because they have a Bitcoin ATM machine here, he said he expected Bitcoiners to come and use the ATM to take out cash. But what he realized is, wow, at the end of each day, why is there a giant line of people in front of this machine? And that's their tipped employees from the hotel and the casino. They get tipped in cash, and they were converting it into Bitcoin on the way out that day.
Very smart.
So so he was very surprised to see that his employees are actually buying into Bitcoin as a way to save, like turn some of their tips into sats.
Yeah, and what would you say, Tone? Because I think we're heading into these pretty big prices, right? So, I'm class of 2016, so I was fortunate enough to get under $1,000 Bitcoin. You came a couple years before me, but now we're getting into we're sitting at 43,302, and I think a lot of people are, the unit bias is strong. What's the average American salary? I think it's $55K a year. It's essentially one Bitcoin's becoming unaffordable. What would your advice, what would your statement be to those types of people?
Oh, man. So throughout this entire year, I was saying my favorite metric for Bitcoin is the amount of wallets with one Bitcoin in them. And we crossed that metric earlier this year. I think I mentioned it to you a while ago. Remember, I said it was one of my favorite metrics because I was watching it go from like 800,000 to 850 to 900. And we crossed that 1 million. But this was happening when Bitcoin was 25,000 and under. And all I kept saying at that time was, if you can afford one Bitcoin, you can afford two. And now there's going to be two Bitcoin in forever cold storage, or at least through a cycle or two. Now that it's about to cross 50, that's going to become a little bit challenging. I still think Bitcoin has one more pullback in it. Expecting Bitcoin under 25,000 is possible, but you're praying for that. But I think this run-up that we're dealing with now is the ETF hype.
Yeah.
People have been talking about the ETF since 2017, and I've been laughing about them approving it since 2017. Now it's actually becoming closer to a reality. I'm still going to put the odds on January not being the approval. They have a couple of announcements for the big ones. I think they're going to reject it. However, it's possible they won't. But this run-up that we just had, I think it's going to be a sell the news event regardless.
Mm-hmm.
I think that if they reject it, it's just going to sell off a little bit more. And even if they approve it, because as the day draws near to January, I think we're going to go up one more time. Right now, we're on a little bit of a pullback, which is right with the MRI indicator, those that watch my channel on my channel. And I am looking for a pullback right now, maybe 1,000 or two. Maybe it's already completed because we did fall like a 1,500 over the last 24 hours. I think we're going to break two new highs later this year, maybe next week. And the top is going to come around mid to early January when the ETF announcement's happening. Now, the higher we run up into that announcement, the bigger the pullback after the announcement is going to be, regardless of what that announcement is. Now, if we do not rally into the announcement, if let's say Bitcoin is lower in mid-January, on January 10th, when they announce, lower than it is today, then ETF approval will probably create a huge spike in Bitcoin.
Ooh.
But if we're spiking into that day, then I think the chances of us spiking further on good news are low. So that's kind of what, this is why trading is so hard to explain to people, right? Because people always ask, well, at what price do I buy? At what price do I sell? And I tell them, well, it's a price and time. Time matters. I'm probably one of the Bitcoin analysts that talks about time the most. It's because, sometimes 25,000 is a time to buy, but sometimes it's a time to sell. Because how did we get to 25,000, right? If we got to 25,000 after rallying like crazy, 25 is not a good place to buy, right? But if we're consolidating at 25,000 for a while, or we just pulled back into it, that's a perfect time to buy. So this is what I mean about time and price. So my best guess is that we're going to rally into around 48, 49 in early to mid-January. And then the news, no matter whether it's positive or negative, will pull the price down a bit.
And just to wrap it up here before we bring up our next guest, what pullback are you expecting it to drop to?
If the SEC comes back with disappointing news, I can see a pullback realistically to maybe 35, and on the low side down to 30,000.
Gotcha.
That's if they come back with like, we're rejecting everything. If they sound very positive, like we're rejecting it, but this year you're going to get it, then the pullback might only be to about 40. And if they approve it, the pullback might even be maybe to 45, maybe the current price. From again, this is under the assumption that we're sitting at 48, which is what I'm thinking.
Gotcha. Well, thank you, Tone, so much for joining us. The conference will be back at 2 p.m. We're going to be having interviews with some speakers in the meantime. Thank you, Tone.
All right. Maybe actually a little bit later, maybe 2:15-ish.
2:15.
So you guys have more time for interviews.
We will hold it down till then.
Well, you'll know when it goes back to live. So
thanks, Tone. Really appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
Let's go. All right, guys. This one's gonna be good. Actually, Ben, before you come up here, can you bring some glasses for me? All right, guys. I know it's early here, but yeah, why not? We're working on the job here. All right, guys, sit down. Yeah, come in here. This one. All right, guys. Actually, maybe I need to do a PSA here because I have a Ben on the panel here. The Bens are 51% attacking Bitcoin right now. So I don't know exactly how this is going to work out, but this one's going to be good. This is, I think Chris labeled this one.
So you.
As are you going? Oh, Rustin, yeah, pop in. All right, cool. Nico's got to go do some things, guys. This is Bitcoin Drinks, guys. Two entrepreneurs.
This is Opti's field.
This is my forte here. So this is going to be good. But actually, let me just let you guys introduce yourself. Ben, you start, and then we'll move over to Oliver.
Yeah, I'm Ben Justman. I make wine in Western Colorado. My brand is called Peony Lane. And what I'm really trying to do is associate a high quality, low time preference brand with Bitcoin. So people associate Bitcoin with good, high quality goods instead of the crap that they are fed by the mainstream media.
Well, sounds very similar to what Oliver is doing. But actually, do we have a bottle opener here or what's going on? Dude, come, Tatum. Open this bottle. Break this bottle. All right, Oliver. Tell the people who you are. What are you doing? And literally, what Ben just said, I've heard you say the exact same thing.
And dude, one thing, this guy is the most energetic, enthusiastic guy.
He has to
so
be.
Like, look at the product. Look at what it's producing. Okay, look at this man. You got to get some sovereign in your life. Let's go.
Thank you, guys. Thank you very much. Yeah, my name is Oliver. So I'm the founder CEO of Sovereign Energy, and 100%. We're basically all on the same mission. And I think it's not only with Ben. I believe everyone who's at this conference is on the same mission, bringing sovereignty, bringing Bitcoin, and making it easily somehow some of us bring it through the masses. So through Sovereign Energy, we basically have a premium energy drink that once you peel off the QR code, the shrink sleeve, you have a QR code that allows you easy access to Bitcoin and Bitcoin education. So our mission is just making Bitcoin accessible to everyone.
All right, wait. You guys both kind of touched on a theme, and I'm sure everyone here has at least heard about or read Saif Dean's fiat standard, and you guys touched on that same idea that everything we're consuming has been destroyed by the fiat standard, and we're all ingesting all kinds of crap here that is literally killing us slowly but surely. So is this the main goal here? Like, I know Ben just loves grapes and wine. He's just we're cut from the same cloth. My mother loves wine, and I've been meaning to hit you up and get a crate shipped to me.
Yeah, let's get your mom some wine.
Yeah, we got to get my mom some wine. But what is the main goal here? Like, what is the connection between, I mean, we kind of touched on it, being an entrepreneur, being a Bitcoiner, and just doing what you love? Go, yeah.
So maybe we start with that. I think it's the same story with the wine, but we basically wanted to combine a physical product, something that people can actually experience, with bringing cyber energies, bringing Bitcoin into it. And we didn't just want to do anything crappy, because Bitcoin, it's the vision and the mission of Bitcoin that it stands basically for high quality, purity. And this is what we wanted to do with Sovereign. We actually tried out 150 different energy drinks and worked with a premium beverage developer here from the US to come up with the ingredients. So we have all the good stuff inside, from vitamin B, B complex, we have vitamin C, but we also have something which is not typically seen in energy drinks. Beyond caffeine, we also have L-theanine and L-tyrosine, which basically helps you get this clear, focused energy. You get the laser eyes. You have energy, but you're not bouncing off the walls, but you actually have the real energy, pure laser eyes, just as we can imagine, like Bitcoin being focused. And on top of this, as I pointed out, we want to make this not only for Bitcoiners, people who understand Bitcoin, but we want to make easy onboarding for the masses. So that's why the QR codes, and that's why in just 3 clicks, you get access to Bitcoin and Bitcoin education.
This is something we see a lot in Bitcoin. Is just when Bitcoiners get into their products and they produce what they love and what they're passionate about, it's just so much better. Like, what energy drink can you get? Education, you might win some sats, and you get healthy, clean energy. And then I'm going to guess, these grapes are not going to be your typical grapes. This is not going to be your typical wine. Like, there is passion and love and energy that goes into these Bitcoin products that just separates it from fiat products, because you take the time, the energy, the research to create something,
the proof of work,
that has staying power, that's going to be around for a while. And that's what's just so beautiful to see out of what you guys are doing. Just love to see it.
Wait, I want to chime in here. First and foremost, Oliver, you were telling me one thing, that you preloaded these cans with sats, and now there are cans out there with what, like $500 in sats today. I think you said there's like 1 million sats on some of these cans. Like, I'm sure everyone is throwing away actual dollars right now, and they don't even know it.
This is exactly this. Yeah, 100%. So when we started the company, we made the first batch of 21,000 of these so-called orange pills. This is our first flavor, and we have basically different rewards level, starting from 500 sats up to 1 million sats. And when we first launched, we were like, okay, 1 million sats is roughly $300. It was $350. Now we're roughly almost at what $450 per can that you can get with all these cans.
I think what you're hitting on too, and like Sailors hit on this with Bitcoin products and Lightning, and how it's going to totally change advertising, but also the product, the company, and the customer's relationship. Like with what you're doing and how personable that can become, and how community driven, and the energy behind these things and products. That is just so incredible to see that, and just Bitcoin everywhere. And you're getting a micro dose of education. Maybe someone gets their first Lightning transaction scoring some sats from some Sovereign. I was also wondering too, like, we know the ethos you know, but what got you to land on Sovereign for your energy drink?
So basically, we started. I'm 41, but I've never been as fit as I'm today. So I really, it's important for me to be careful.
No homo, but that's a beautiful 41-year-old man. Come on.
No, it's okay. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm married, happily married to a wonderful wife. Thank you very much. Really appreciate it. So the point was that I wanted to make sure that we put that everything that we put in our brain, but also in our body, somehow fits to the ethos of longevity and putting, like good stuff in us. So that's why we have to make a premium energy drink. And the sovereign part, why it's sovereign, the idea is bringing Bitcoin and Bitcoin education to the masses will hopefully lead to making sovereign individuals in the future. So that's the sovereign. That's because I cannot spell like shit. So that's the
Hey, I can hardly read or spell.
That's how Bitcoiners spell. That's how I spell.
That's how I spell sovereign, right? Oh. Exactly. Perfect. Thank you.
Love it. All right, Ben, I saw you tweet this the other day, and I don't know if it's actually official or not, but is this the only wine company with Bitcoin on the actual bottle? I know you're working on your logo. What's going on over here?
So I've seen a lot of kind of branding as Bitcoin bottles, but you go to those companies' websites, there's basically nothing about the wine. There is, there's crypto bottles. There's just kind of a souvenir bottle. So I believe I'm the first, at least in the United States, the first winemaker to put Bitcoin on every single label. Like, I'm not branding this as all my wines as Bitcoin wines. It's just Peony Lane is a Bitcoin company. I want people to see my wine, realize the low time preference I'm taking with it, to do things the right way, and associate Bitcoin with that high quality product. Within wine, there's a serious difference between, what we would understand as like fiat wines, high time preference wines that are made with some serious manipulation. And then there's a lot of people that take things the slow approach, the low time preference approach, and do things the right way. And from the outside, just like Bitcoin and crypto, people kind of just see the wine. But once you kind of start diving in, it's really easy to tell who's doing things the right way and in it for the wine, and who's in it for really just the money.
No, and I love that, because I think, I love the fact that it's really not that blatant that you're a Bitcoiner. You're just it's there. You can see it via the product itself. And I just also, again, this is a Ben, so we're going to talk about Twitter stuff here. I saw you tweet, I think it was a couple of weeks ago, and you were just blown away by the response that Bitcoiners have given you in supporting your company. And it's just so cool to see that you built it just from meeting people on Twitter. What is going on? Everyone is just helping your company. It's absolutely amazing.
Yeah, most of my sales are still to no coiners, and that's a huge reason why I'm not trying to be over the top. It's just I want to orange pill my community by being a Bitcoiner who's successful. And in my mind, it's when you see people who are successful around you, but successful in a way that you could envision yourself, you're like, oh, well, what are they doing? What could I do to have that success for myself? And if I can be like, oh yeah, no, I just kind of got into Bitcoin, maybe they will too. But yeah, no, I never expected to sell any wine. I never expected to orient towards online sales with wine, because shipping wine is, it's a bit of a hassle. It's not horrible, but it's easier to physically be in a place and someone buys wine. But then just, I don't know, shit posting on Twitter. People wanted
wait, it actually helps your job?
People
What's going on here?
Yeah.
The quality of his shit posts get better over time as well.
Oh my God. What a weird life we're a part of.
Packaging is great though. And talk about, so is your vineyard in Colorado?
Yeah, so I'm in Western Colorado, a town called Paonia. It's the highest wine region in North America. So I'm growing at around 6,000 feet. And that it creates, every place is going to grow different, create different flavors. So at high elevation, you get more acidity and really bright fruit flavors. So kind of taking the low time preference approach, not doing manipulation to it, and letting the wine kind of speak for itself and be its own unique spot. So I got new labels coming for my next vintage that'll have Bitcoin on all of them. And then before the halving, I'll release a special Bitcoin halving bottle for everyone.
Oh, let's go. Okay. Well, I'm not much of a wine connoisseur, but it's absolutely delicious. Oliver, I've been smashing energy drinks all day.
It's vibrating like I can feel my seat shaking over here.
Oh.
It's working.
Dude, I'm
dude.
sweating. I'm sweating from too much caffeine over here. But no, guys, like Rustin literally just tapped me on the shoulder right now. And Ben, you said something that I literally say all the time, whether it's internally or on the show. It's just like, be a successful person and then just show like, yo, Bitcoin is one of the reasons why I'm here. And I think you guys are a great living example of that. So guys, actually, let's plug websites so the people know. And then I think we're getting someone next here. I'm getting the twirls. I'm getting the twirls to go. So Ben, where can people find you? Where are you in all 50 states? What's going on here?
Not quite all 50 states. Utah is quite the problem for alcohol.
I wonder why.
You can order pretty much everywhere in the United States at peonylanewine.com, PEONY. And then I do all my Bitcoin sales currently through the Oshi app. So if you want to buy with Bitcoin, you can order through there.
Let's go. Awesome. All right, Oliver, what about Sovereign? Where can they find you?
Perfect. Thank you very much. So we also have Sovereign Energy, SVRNenergy.com. That's our internet page. That's our main venue basically for selling our energy drink at the moment. Of course, we have all the social media on Twitter, on Instagram, everywhere, SVRN Energy. But once again, I would like to remind everyone about the mission we are on and thank Tone and thank everyone who is here for bringing us all together, guys. I think the conference is amazing. I think we have incredible vibes here. Everyone's talking about Bitcoin, supporting each other. And I really appreciate it. I also want to thank the audience. And maybe just for the duration of the conference, we're also offering a special promotional code, UNC21, for 21% off of our energy drink. So thank you, Tone. Thank you for everyone for supporting us and being on the, not us only Sovereign Energy, but for supporting Bitcoin, guys. We have to orange peel the world. That's no way around it. Thank you.
Let's go. All right, guys. Thanks for showing up. Thanks for being a part of the news desk.
Thanks for coming out. Awesome.
All right, yeah, okay. So on the same vein, we're gonna bring Tone back in here for a quick one. I don't know if we're popping this bottle yet or what, but all right, Tone. On the same vein, we got
Try this wine first.
It's amazing.
I gotta try this wine first. So
Do it.
Are you
really good.
Yeah, do you know wines? You got it live, bro. You got it recorded.
You heard it here first.
Hey, Tone. Thumbs up. Tone
Yeah,
Vays
I'm
approved.
advertising for next year. We do need a wine sponsor.
Let's go.
Hey, let's see the community. That is beautiful. Beautiful. Tone, what do we have here?
We got one. So since you guys were doing a drinks product, and I thought I would might as well show a plug. So this is a new company called Bear Wood,
Ooh,
and
the chip.
and they
That's out of
made
Texas, right?
a limited edition. No, he's out of St. Louis.
Oh, okay. Maybe
But
yeah.
I think they could be bottling it in Texas. This is actually their first product that they're launching, and it's a Tone Vays branded tequila. There's
We're
only
gonna get the camera to zoom in on you, so
Yeah.
we'll get that in there for you.
there is only 21 bottles of this. Some of them are going to
Yeah,
get
look at
sold
that.
here. Like these bottles are basically bootstrapping the company with finances, and it's a brand new company. I shouldn't talk too much about it because the guy who runs the company is not here. Maybe you guys can grab him tomorrow or something.
Okay.
And you see the wood inside the bottle.
I was
because
just looking at that.
they have a patented system that can continue to age the spirit after you bottle it.
Wow.
This is what makes this unique.
So you're talking about time preference, right?
Exactly.
Look at that.
So, but the aging only begins after you peel off this top.
Oh,
and
wow.
the aging starts quickly and then it slowly diminishes. But if you put, let's say, a 5-year aged liquor in here, it can be on your shelf for like a few years, and then you peel it and you age it for like another 6 months to a year to get the maximum out of the cork. It's the same cork that the barrels are made from, and you can age it to your liking later on after you've already bought the bottle. So this is their unique patented system. So so there's the only 21 bottles. This is the first of 21. I think I'm going to be buying this one, and there's going to be a couple up for auction. This is and you can try it over at the vendor area. So this
there's
is
samples.
Yeah, there are samples of this. Yep.
Yeah, that needs to be in a cabinet kept away.
Yeah. So so these are specials. Only 21 of these. There will be another launch in the future. And here, my trading card looks exactly like this.
It is the packaging is perfect with the poker chips, these things, and Tone was hitting on that. So
yeah, so I'm gonna probably put like an affiliate link for this because I love this idea. I mean, like when they brought it to me, it was awesome. All right, I want to give.
Wait. One last thing, Tone. One last thing, Tone. Hit the bottom of this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right. So you know how Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson released a tequila. That tequila is inferior.
That's not a good tequila.
Inferior.
It's
That's
not
a good
You
tequila.
can't compete with a Bitcoin tequila. Let's look at this thing.
It's not a good. Well, also like we don't make our own tequila. There's the tequila in here is a good tequila that we know is a good tequila. So the Rock's tequila will never make it into this bottle.
None of that.
So we're starting with a very respected tequila that's inside. We have many options to choose from. The next batch is going to be the next 21 batch for next year's conference. All 21 bottles will have a different tequila inside, but each one will be approved by Tone. And some of the tequila inside starts off at like, it's a good, legit, no additive tequila at like a $30 price, and some of it will be a $300 price. Also, like there's those that know, I know tequila. All right.
Yeah, I was literally going to say that. Guys, I've seen Tone order tequila. He knows what good tequila is. So I would definitely trust his judgment. All right, Tone. We're getting kicked out. We're getting kicked out now. All right. We got producer Chris, best producer in the game behind here, coordinating everything. And he keeps giving me the fingers. He's like, all right, bro, you got to go. You got to go. All right, man. What? Yes, let's go. All right, yeah. All right, this one's going to be epic. I'm excited for this one. I'm excited. Super excited. Boy. Let's hope the cameras are good, guys, on Twitter Spaces. Let's see. We're still going.
Wait. Audio good?
Yes, audio is good. All right. I'm gonna definitely butcher your last name, but I'm just gonna say Will Nostr and Damus. How's everything going? And your lovely wife?
Vanessa. We're not married.
Oh, okay. Soon. Sorry.
I normally don't correct people, but
okay. All right. Yeah. For yeah. Exactly.
See what happens when you leave Opti.
well, it's really when we get Ben to give me a glass of wine on the job. You know, this is part of the job. Okay. All right. Well, Will, how are you doing? Maybe some updates for people out there of what's going on with Damus. What's going on with you, man?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a crazy year.
To say the least.
Just came out of a huge tour, just like touring like all the Bitcoin conferences around the world. You know, we had that amazing conference in Japan, Australia. But now, it's back to work. And next year, I'm going to be focusing on Damus Androids. I'm excited for that. So.
Well, Tatum's hyped about that one.
He's turning up as we speak.
Okay, so Will, maybe I don't want to start at the very beginning. I'm sure everyone watching is pretty familiar with what Damus has gone through, but maybe you can update people on what the roadmap is. You know, what's your workaround for this whole Apple stuff going on, and maybe what's the future going on with Damus in particular, maybe even Nostr at large.
Yeah, so there's in terms of the Apple situation, there's a lot of Nostr clients that are doing an interesting approach, which is where you buy sats within the app using Apple Pay. And this tends to get around, a lot of the issues. But the issue is now you become like you're doing a Bitcoin exchange within the app, and it opens you up to a lot of liabilities. So I'm kind of I'm kind of wary of that approach. But some apps like Primal and Current are doing this right now, so you can notes app in those clients. So for me, I think it's just you can still do it on Android. So I'm looking forward to building the Damus Android and have more freedom tech on different platforms, because I don't know if Apple is the place to be for that.
Love it. Okay, well, I mean, I know, Will, that you're just the pretty face here with the boa, and Vanessa's the brains behind the operation. So, Vanessa, how is what's your view on Nostr? What's this power couple that I'm sitting next to? What's going on here?
Yeah, I mean, I say this a lot. I kind of had to get on Nostr because he was working on it, and I was like, "Oh, what is this? I'll never use it." And here we are, a year later, and we've met these people all over the world who are using it and loving it, and now I'm addicted to it. So my role really is to try to do these conferences, do these appearances, different things to try to market this thing, which is kind of the most difficult thing to market.
Yes.
I did a presentation in Australia and called it unmarketing, because we don't have any ads in the app. Nobody wants ads. We don't want ads. So how do you market this thing? So for us over the next year, it'll be trying new things. Let's go on Instagram and try to get those people over to Nostr. So that's kind of what I'm excited about.
I love it.
Yeah.
What's been the response? What do people I know, in the Bitcoin community, decentralized social media, it's yeah, of course, Twitter censoring everything, even though Elon Musk's talking about freedom of speech and all this, but we've seen an active attack on freedom of speech, the flow of information. But talking to an average person, what is their view on Nostr? Do people understand? Or are we just so far outside the Overton window where it's how do you not know what this means?
Yeah, so a lot of our early users were people who obviously really care about freedom and free speech. But now we're seeing a lot of people who are just joining because they think it's a cool protocol, and a lot of people who haven't maybe considered going on social media very often because they maybe they already are opt out. They don't believe in big tech and things like that. So we're seeing a lot of users who are just new to social media in general and are just enjoying their experience. And maybe that's going to be the way forward, is just getting a lot more of these users. And what's really interesting is that a lot of the people joining aren't even really necessarily Bitcoiners. A lot of the Japanese users aren't really Bitcoiners. But then they just they come in contact with them wow, this is nice. This is easy to use. So I'm just happy to see more and more people trying out Nostr and Bitcoin in general through this.
Absolutely. I'm thinking about, obviously you guys are major free speech advocates, and we just had, the advertising boycott and these things. And we see how the business model of these different social media companies can be, highly cut off, from these centralized forces. So you guys get around that. Now it's just to branch out. But what do you see with Damus and Nostr in getting these freedom-minded individuals coming in and incepting them maybe with these zaps? And where do you guys see kind of Damus and Nostr expanding? Because as a protocol, there are some other applications maybe people aren't thinking about.
Yeah, I mean, there's we're just starting to explore this idea of a decentralized, interoperable network of applications. Social media was just the first application of Nostr, but we're already seeing things like Flockster, which is a meetup replacement on Nostr, which is going to be interesting. So when you can see your friends joining a meetup and it pops up in your Damus feed, that's going to be pretty cool.
So Nostr Tinder coming soon.
Nostr Tinder, absolutely.
That's our biggest question all the time. When does that happen?
Next to Nostr OnlyFans.
Yes,
the other one.
Nostr only.
among other things like Slack replacements and things we're excited about those things on the Damus.
Why? A lot of people may not get it. Opti was talking about this, but why do they need a replacement for that? And we've had him on, the AML KYC expert, on how this is that's the criminal activity, the harvesting of this data and consolidating it into huge honeypots of information. And what you guys are doing is really revolutionizing that. Is Nostr and Damus setting that new standard for the future? And do you think you're going to have competition from the big players?
I mean, I see Nostr as, in the same sense that Bitcoin is the defense against, all of the insane CBDC things going on in KYC. Nostr is the defense against the same idea, but in the free speech space online. Imagine the future where Elon is, he has like Dogecoin integration and he has all these KYC, and now, and you won't be able to send a transaction if you say the wrong thing. Like, this is like this dystopian world which we're trying to avoid, and Nostr represents the best tooling to fight against what they're building. This is why I think Bitcoin and Nostr, they're so complementary, because they're the same idea that we're fighting something that's more important. It's like individual freedom and individual sovereignty. So
it's a perfect pairing.
Yeah, exactly.
So like it basically all communications could be plugged into Nostr at some point. And where do you see that going as far as maybe Lightning transaction URLs and different things with people?
Oh, sorry, what was the question?
Like, as far as AML KYC and how people identify and connect, it's probably going to be through like Lightning URLs and things of that nature going forward.
Yeah, and it's really interesting. So right now we're using Lightning, but people are experimenting with like cashew, like tokens and stuff. And so, Nostr doesn't really pick a particular L2 that it prefers, but right now we're using Lightning because it works well. We're going to be using other L2s like Cashew and eCash solutions, Fedi. So yeah, it's very open and free. The future is whatever we make it at this point. So,
well, what is the future for Damus? You don't have to sneak peek anything, but
we'll sneak peek.
Okay.
We love to call it like announcement before an announcement again, like under the unmarketing thing.
Oh, the Justin Sun stuff. Okay, nice.
But it was funny because we were in Nostr and I was like, okay, I'm going to make this big announcement of our new website, and then he just put a note about it, and I was like, oh, great, okay, that kind of fell flat. But so for 2024, like Damus Android for sure, and potentially some other exciting things on the note tech side of the business.
Yeah, and like the way that we're building Nostr clients is evolving. Like one thing that is starting to crop up in a lot of clients is this idea of having a relay within the client. So you're starting to see it act a little bit more peer-to-peer. Like Nostr is not a peer-to-peer protocol, but what happens? What does it mean when you have all the notes that you've ever written and all the notes from your friends local on your device that you can search locally and all these things? And now you have a complete censorship resistant backup and redundant backup all locally on your device. Maybe you can back up to like iCloud or whatever backup solution you have. So we're getting to like much more decentralized versions of Nostr, because the initial versions of Nostr were kind of dumb, like especially Damus. It's like we just connect to a bunch of relays. And maybe like 5 relays, but we're starting to have different models of fetching notes and sending notes that is way more decentralized. So I'm excited for those like technical improvements, but that's just one aspect. And then there's going to be other like use cases, like actual user facing use cases as well. So I'm really excited. It's moving, it's iterating very rapidly.
Yeah. And also things like, translations. We've realized traveling this year that is a huge feature that people love, and we need to make it easier so that everybody can access them, because then we're opening it up even further from a free speech perspective, right? If everyone has access to be able to talk to anybody in the world and understand them right away, it's very powerful.
Love it. Well, guys, this has been awesome. Producer Chris just gave me the wrap up. So this has been great. But actually, one last question, and you guys could both hit it, because I found it so interesting, the response that Damus has gotten from Japan and Asia in general. And maybe just give some insights. Like, it seems like it's almost taking off more over there than it is here.
Yeah, we're finding like every now and then, like a whole country will just come online. We're still see everything. So like in Thailand, it's taking off in Thailand right now. There's a whole hashtag like Siamster. And I think there's this real hunger for this technology especially in places where free speech isn't as easier as common as in North America.
That's what I was going to wonder. Is it more of like the locations where free speech is under attack, or is it more of like the techie centers, or a little bit of both, kind of?
Yeah, we're finding it's places who just want to build on a technology that's open and permissionless, and where they can grow their culture of like a social culture within their that's why in Damus right now we have a way to automatically add bootstrap relays in your local region, so you'll automatically connect with people locally. So yeah, I think it's going to grow probably around the world faster at a faster rate.
Yeah, because wherever they if there's a need, like a true need for something, right, that's how it's going to grow more rapidly. And we really realized it in Oslo at the Freedom Forum this past year, where people were like, this is extremely important to me, not just fun chatting with my friends, but because I feel this is the way that I can actually have a voice. And it's like, whoa, okay, we're not just building this fun little, social media thing. It actually has the ability to change people's lives, I think. So that's
amazing.
That's what we're hoping for.
I had one more. What do you guys think about Nostr and Damus, and definitely targeting major businesses and things through the protocol, because the relationship between customer and product and company is so different. Rewarding your customers with sats and the different things you can do within there. How are you guys targeting and maybe see that growing?
Yeah, I mean, companies can build on this without any permission from, and there's no liability from other companies of storing the data. They can run their own relays and serve their own customers. The business use cases are so exciting, and I want to see those grow.
We just need to get the users to demand it from those companies more.
For sure.
Yes.
All right, guys. Well, really appreciate your guys' time. Actually, where can people find you on the social medias? Obviously on Nostr, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you know your NPub by heart?
So you don't need to memorize NPubs. So if you go into any Nostr client and type in like JB55 at jb55.com, it should load my account. So
okay, there you go. All right, guys. Well, appreciate it. Have a good rest of your day. We will
Keep fighting.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you. All right. Who do we got? Yeah. Who's next? Tatum and Dom. Wait, Chris. Tell Chris. All right, guys. Sorry, we're having a scheduling conflict right now. Okay. One second. I don't know who's coming up yet. Okay, all right. We do know who's coming up then. All right, guys. All right. Well, all right. So if you thought that this was like this is fine with the dog on fire meme, now it's really going to actually catch on fire. This is really going to go downhill from here. So hopefully our last guest can save the stream. For people that don't know, who are these big guys next to us right now? We'll start with Tatum. Wait, Mr. Tatum.
Man, he was in the moment.
That hurt.
He was in the moment. Man.
All right, try it again.
What is up, guys? It's your boy Tatum. No, I'm Tatum. Tatum Turn Up.
Welcome to Simply Bitcoin in between two ASICs.
Simply
episode 1. So Tatum hasn't wanted me on his show, so I forced him.
That is such a lie.
So I forced.
He literally asked us last night to do the show.
I literally grabbed Tatum's ASICs and I put them in between Simply Bitcoin.
Nico needs a bulletproof vest, and then we're in business.
Oh, wait. Can we talk about that story? No, maybe bring in Dom first, and then we'll talk about this story. All right, wait, who is this guy over here with his mustache?
I do security for Tatum when he doesn't have the vest.
Wow.
And number one, how come you guys haven't offered me the peony lane, but Tone is over here
let's
this man a cup.
Can we get him a cup over here? Let's get him sauced up. Let's get him sauced up. Can we get him a clean cup? I mean,
it's parched.
All right, it's coming. It's coming.
Yeah.
All right, well, Dom, who are you? Besides being the funniest guy probably ever, what are you doing? Who are you? What do you do in Bitcoin?
I'm a firefighter, and
He rescues the shit out of people.
I rescue the shit out of people.
Pass me your cup. Pass me that cup.
Oh, sick.
Or pass him the bottle.
I'm gonna drink it like Tone did.
Smell it
from the side. It looked like a little bit like Lord Voldemort drinking wine. I was like, oh shit.
Wow, Rustin spilling on Tatum's pants.
I spilled it.
It's okay.
Wow.
Yeah. Does Dom approve? I know Dom likes his poisons.
Really good. You tried that yet?
Is that a cab?
Yeah, I think so.
Cab Franc.
Yeah, it's really good.
Cab Franc.
Wow.
Yeah, sure.
You still didn't tell me what you do.
I'm just a fanboy. I got the Santa Monica firefighters to become the first union in the country to self-custody Bitcoin, and then we got 2 other unions after that, and we're just helping every group adopt Bitcoin.
Fucking love it. All right.
Won't stop. Can't stop. Won't stop.
Can't stop, won't stop. Actually, Dom, we had a pretty cool conversation before we started this, so maybe we can touch in that. I would love to have gotten Michelle on as well, because that was a crazy conversation. But Tatum. Let's talk with Mr. Tatum, guys. This might be kind of like a tricky conversation, because I don't know if you guys are aware, but there was some pretty crazy news that happened in Vegas yesterday, and we went to go get food. And if you guys know Mr. Tatum over here, he wears a bulletproof vest as part of his costume. And we walked out, like we're on Fremont Street. We walk out, and there's like, I don't even know, like 13 cops, like 7 cop cars. And we're like, what is going on? We're just getting some Thai food. And Tatum's all joking. He's like, oh shit, I should have put on my vest. I don't feel safe without my vest.
Then we figured out what happened, and we realized that would have been a very bad idea.
Yeah, I think I messaged you yesterday around that time, like, dude, did you see this? Yeah, definitely not a good time.
The best was at Pacific. There's police officers working the conference, and Tatum just walks by, and the cop doesn't say anything. He's like, what's going on here? And I was like, oh, it's a Bitcoin thing. And they're like, okay, we'll figure that out later. I was like, yeah.
Oh my God.
Probably asked Tatum like he was in charge.
One of my favorite things that happened was at in Miami this past year. I was up in the media room, and I was going down, and it's like when you walked out of the media room, there's an escalator, and then like main stage. There was a guy at the top of the escalator in a suit, and he was just like looking at me. He was like standing in front of the escalator, and I was like, can I go down? He's like, yeah. Okay. I was like, that was weird. And so I start going down. Another guy in a suit at the bottom is like slowly walking towards me, just like glaring at me. I was like, what is going on? I look to the left. RFK is speaking. I was like, oh my God. Secret Service just about took me out.
Guys, if you've never met Tatum either, this guy's like 6'5". He's a monster. So definitely a real life threat to a presidential candidate.
Let's strike that from the record.
He was a power forward.
Metaphorically. Allegedly.
Reportedly, Cointelegraph.
It's a joke. It's a joke. Metaphorically, guys. This is fine meme.
Dom, what about these pensioners? Like, what got you into this? There was some calamity in Europe. We see that kind of in the U.S. Like, I was a teacher, and I know kind of capers and things of that nature with the interest rates. They ended up like gambling a lot of these people's retirement. So what is it you guys are really doing there, and how is it appealing? And you're kind of starting to see a little bit of momentum growing there.
Yeah. So for all those that don't remember the financial crisis, 07, 08, 09, the pensions got rocked, and there's this like a gap of the money they have and the money they owe. And you would have think that gap would have closed with all the equities and all the run up and all the good times and prosperity. They haven't closed. And so most pensions, their only real chance to close that gap and keep up with the money they owe is to get into some like Bitcoin, right? And they're still gambling. I just read yesterday that CalPERS, the largest pension in the U.S., kicked $400 million to A16Z and Horowitz, and yet you can't even get research on Bitcoin on the books. And so we're trying to just like make pensions aware, but it may take having to get those people who have the pensions to adopt Bitcoin first, to then pressure the pensions to add it to the balance sheet.
Yeah, so that's a way to kind of incept it there. I love that. And
then our backup plan is just to send Tatum with the vest in.
Got to do that.
Actually, that's the first plan.
That's a joke. Alleged joke. That's a joke.
Just to talk to them. It's not. There's like to be like, yo, what's going on? What are you guys doing?
Listen, I'm a threat to myself, if anything. So I don't know what the plan is here, but
the plan is don't nuke Tone's channel. All right,
he's got a herniated disc right now, but we're not going to talk about that.
L4, L5. What are you talking?
We won't talk about that. But Nostr fixes
wait,
this.
We should talk about.
No, I don't know if we should, but.
Yeah,
I don't know.
No.
It's Vegas.
He had a great. Wait, what stays in Vegas? What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
Yeah.
Except a herniated disc.
Yeah, that's definitely coming back to Colorado with me.
Oh my goodness. Oh my God. Well.
Oh man.
Now he's going to be on one of those inversion tables in the next episode of Between the Two ASICs, like upside down.
So
that you
just
have to do that, bro.
dropping him in the back.
Whole episode upside down on the inversion table.
Yeah, I'm in a lot of pain.
Yeah, in more ways than one. This guy walked in this morning and was like, "Did you have a lot of fun last night, Tatum?" He's like, "I am not even here right now. I am not alive."
The peony lane is purely medicinal for him at this point.
Yeah.
So
I can't wait until my mom watches this. This is going to be great.
This is great content.
Great conversation.
This is
Christmas.
great content. This is good stuff.
So I believe Yellow was seen at the conference today.
Oh, yeah.
You
Hey,
guys were
Chris.
doing a tour.
Give me yellow.
And what's
Yellow back there.
can we talk about the pants?
Yeah, those are like.
What's going on with these pants?
Is this MC Hammer? What?
Shooting stars. I don't.
It
I have
came with
no
the
idea.
pants.
Yeah.
I was in Vegas, damn it.
Okay.
Wait, I got him. I got him. Hold
Please
on.
tell me you have.
hell are you talking about?
You malaka.
No.
Malaka.
Stop believing. How to do that feeling? Malaka.
Yeah.
Everybody talks about ETF this, ETF that. Shut the hell up. I've been listening to Yellow too much.
Dude, that is so good.
Yeah,
That is so good.
I just took him downstairs, and unfortunately, he lost everything. So, if you'd like to keep up
Except
with
his pants.
except his pants, we did not talk about that. We can go sell those on Fremont probably, for a little extra comeback money. But go check out my Twitter. We're going on an adventure in Vegas, and we'll see who survives. It's probably going to be Yellow, surprisingly.
Wow. So tonight's
It's
going to be
'cause he's
lit
like
with
Hunter S.
Yellow.
Thompson. He's impervious to substance.
Who's the next guest on Between the Two ASICs?
No, different show. He's totally different show.
I'm trying to get some alpha up in
Let's
here.
get in the A6.
Oh yeah. Oh, I forgot.
yeah, so
I
we
forgot.
actually-
This is simply Bitcoin between two ASICs.
So we actually
Simply
just
ASICs.
completed a merger yesterday. Simply Bitcoin bought the naming rights to Between Two ASICs
For $5 and a ham sandwich.
And by that, I mean I gave them $5 and a ham sandwich.
He was-
So
Yeah, he's just a very courteous man. But Simply is about to get turned up, is what I'm thinking. So
is this a job offer?
hey,
no,
I
you,
mean,
no, you're. I don't know if our brand can handle Mr. Tatum over here.
I don't think my brand can handle Mr. Tatum.
so
Okay, all right, good boys. Well, as you can tell, we're gonna have a good time tonight. So this is why you should be in Vegas. But producer Chris is kicking you guys out because Tatum, Tatum burns down everything he comes across. So we got to minimize
That's what she
Tatum on it.
said. What? Never mind. Sorry. Tom.
No, you get
Okay.
What's up?
I just made that's what she said. Joke. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine.
Vegas is a great place for Malakas too.
This is
very
true.
Malaka friendly. So
Wait, hold on.
you Malakas, make your way.
I'm seeing Dom look over here very serious. I feel like he wants to say something before I kick him off the stage. You told me you were going to burn this down, but don't burn down the YouTube channel.
It's a good thing that he's a firefighter.
Yeah, just
This
like
is true.
a couple smoldering embers, maybe.
Yeah, I got nothing. I'm just Jacob told me about this roulette machine downstairs. I can't stop thinking about it. So Fiat Dom is alive and well in
Hey,
Vegas.
wait. Before you go, Dom, can you recap for everyone the gambling that you did and I watched last night?
Yeah, so I went to Opti and I said, look, dude, you want to see someone double their money real quick? And we walked over to the roulette table, went on red, it hit. I was like, it's as easy as that, bro. I literally did that. Yeah.
Wait, Nico, shh.
We hit it. Then we're sitting there for a second, and I have the chips, and I'm like this. I'm like
twirling
squeezing
them.
the
He's
chips.
twirling
And he's
them.
like, you know what? You want to see something else? You want to see what it looks like to murder blackjack? I go in and proceed to lose 6 hands in a row.
back to back
dude,
20s.
The dealer hit blackjack and 5 20s, and then it's just like, oh, you're done now. And I was like, yep, that money's gone now. It was low dollar. It was only like 400 million sats worth, and we were like, oh,
But I went to a bachelor trip and we were on a blackjack table and it was like maybe 6 or 7 guys, full table, and we were just getting, I mean, absolutely wrecked. I don't know why we didn't leave earlier, but we were like, all right, this is it. Like, we're going to go all in, whatever. just going to win it all back. And do you know most gamblers quit right before they win big? Anyway,
Don't stop 3 feet from gold.
And so we all get our cards. They're like really weird little cards. And one of my buddies has an 11, and one of our degenerate gambler friends was like, "Hey, you don't have to double." And when he says that, you do not double. Well, he doubled, and then I kid you not, 7 card 21. First time I've ever seen it. And no one like freaked out or anything.
Yeah.
You could have heard a pin drop on that felt table.
Jeez.
It was the worst day of my entire life. We all just went home and just
Well,
sulked.
besides this morning.
Oh yeah. This morning was up there with
Hey, have y'all ever had to actually physically move someone off the show? Because me and Tatum are committed. to that.
Chris.
We ain't like, yo, come.
We're not leaving.
Dude.
I was just gonna ask.
Like we talked about wrestling.
Yo,
If this table can handle a body slam, and it can.
Hey, I'll volunteer for a slam. I think I can handle it. But Dom, what's the bench max these days? What are you pushing up?
Yeah, this guy's kind of swole.
Nah, I'm like linguini arms now. I just surf now, dude. I used to do like 315, but like now,
Wow.
I'll crumble, dude. I'll have an injury. But I mean, I don't know. Come find out, dude. We'll see.
Oh,
Yep.
Fafo.
Hey,
All right,
let's go. Before we leave, as a serious note, first of all, subscribe to me on YouTube. But
Between two ASICs.
I always give this piece of advice: get an old miner from eBay or something, even if it works. If it doesn't, S7s will cost you like $20. S9, stack sats, and sacrifice.
All right, guys. All right,
Oh
all
my
right. You
gosh.
guys got to get out of here.
We actually did.
All right,
get
all right.
loot.
Check
All
this
right.
out. All right, all
they're
right.
coming.
Switch the camera. Switch the camera. Look who just showed up.
Jesus.
Oh,
Whoa, what is going on? Mother
get out of
Satoshi and Satoshi
is in the house.
in the house.
Let's
Look
go.
at this. Hold on. Let's go. Amazing. Amazing. This is called winning. This is why you show up to the conferences. Unconfiscatable. Okay. All right. We got our next guest coming on. I think just stay. Oh, are they all coming in here? They're all coming in here. Okay. Let's go.
I can't compete with that.
Okay. All right. Maybe come down closer.
Yeah. Bring it in to hug hard.
Okay. Do they speak? I don't know if they speak. I don't know if we want them to speak. All right, guys. As you can see, we're moving in some very special guests here.
Is that Mrs. Satoshi?
Mother Satoshi
Mother
and
Satoshi.
Satoshi in the flesh. Do they speak, or is that doxing? I don't know. I don't think we want them to speak. They'll just look pretty over here. Yes, no speaking. Okay. All right. Well, let's get this camera. Let's get a zoomed out picture here. But maybe Aladdin needs to come in here and speak for them. Are they avatars? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right. Murph, let's get the wide angle here for us. All right, guys. Last interview. 5 minutes. Okay. Awesome. All right. Well, we might have one of the most beautiful couple. Actually, two of the most beautiful couples in Bitcoin. But let's start with Muzz and Anna, his wife, lovely wife. Muzz, are you doing the speech here about Bitcoin VCs, or is someone else going up there? I haven't looked at the schedule really. I just saw the titles.
No, it's Jimmy Song and myself, and I've been trying to prepare. I've been training in the back because Jimmy's a smart guy, and he despises VCs. He thinks we're all rent-seeking losers out to just suck the blood out of these people, and I have an opposing.
Well, not
view.
wrong, right?
No, totally wrong. Listen, Jimmy gets involved with a startup. Unfortunately, the startup goes out of business, and then he blames the VCs for it. So we're gonna have a good time.
All right. Well, can we get maybe a TLDR? What do you think you're going to say? Do Bitcoin VCs add value?
Not just Bitcoin VCs, but VCs in general.
Love it.
It's an integral part of the system. And if you had to think of maybe a couple of companies who didn't have any VCs, you'd be hard pressed to find a few.
Yes.
So, I'm very friendly. It's nice. You can be an emotional support animal for a young founder. You need therapy, talk to me, what's going on.
So you pay to do therapy.
We pay them, and then we listen to them when they have problems.
Oh, amazing. All right. Well, Anna, let's go to you. You work at Swan, right?
Yes, I love.
How is that?
Awesome.
What do you do exactly? What angle are you hitting it over there at Swan?
I am the people and culture manager. Basically, my role is to be the culture guardian. I really need like a cool outfit, like a sword, and so. Well, it's good. It has to be like all orange and.
It's just swagger.
Yeah.
It's a swagger. All right. Well, look, what we do here at Simply is also the culture. So, how do we attack the culture and psyop the normies into becoming Bitcoiners?
That is a very good question. You're already doing it, honestly. Just keep doing what you're doing. Honestly, you, Nico, everything you guys been doing with Simply it's one of the best channels out there, really, for Bitcoin education. But also, like you said, we're building something that's it's really new. So just keep doing what you're doing. That's all.
Well, really appreciate it. I wasn't asking for kind words. I wanted to know what is your plan of attack. And to be fair, guys, she was wearing the Simply Bitcoin hoodie on the show, so I did not pay her to say those nice things.
Honestly, all you have to do is just stay toxic. The Maxi thing, I know there's a lot of, the Bitcoin Twitter, the whole, Maxis are right. There's too much division in the world, and what we need to understand is we have to align on one mission, and the mission is Bitcoin, right? And then keep our eyes on the prize and not get distracted with all the stupid noise. And I think Maxis do it the best, honestly.
Well, it's funny you said stay toxic, and then you said we shouldn't have division. It seems like those are opposing views.
Wait. Did I say that?
I think you loosely said that. All right, Murphy, zoom out. We need to zoom out. What's in the works for Lightning Ventures? Or for people that don't know, what is Lightning Ventures?
Lightning Ventures is an emerging boutique venture capital firm that's only focused on investing in the best Bitcoin companies in the space. And guess what? You can too. That's right. We offer a syndicate, a deal-by-deal investing, where you can just get started with your angel investing for $1,000 and get in on the same terms as the suits. That's right. Those evil venture capitalists out there that go ahead and they have all this private and pay for deal flow and proprietary this and that. No, we democratize that and we let anyone invest in Bitcoin startups. And then you can even be impactful. You can positively help these companies, read updates from the founders, get involved. It's great for networking. It's great for hiring. It's great for partnerships. It's great for your business too. So get started and join Lightning Ventures.
Woo! That was amazing. Yeah, round of applause for that one. That was amazing. All right. I don't know. What do you look for in a Bitcoin entrepreneur? What do you look for in a Bitcoin company? I think that's good value for people out there.
Well, this right here is, this is
marketing. Obviously, marketing.
That's what you look for. I like fun stuff. Okay. I like fun companies, right? We invested in Swan, companies that you spin the wheel, you get sats back, the easy things, right? I don't really focus on mining or these advanced node infrastructure kind of things, which are all great and all, but I like fun companies. So, on ramps, off ramps, exchanges, laser eyes in every country in the world for onboarding Bitcoiners, payment stuff, bridging traditional finance stuff, BLOCks, Bitcoin sort of backed credit cards and different things that we can use in a completely maxi safe, awesome way. I like the fun stuff myself personally.
Let's go. Well, shouts out to Sophie because she's been saying a motto for us here on the show. Make Bitcoin fun, sexy, and cool. And I think you guys are in a perfect example of this. But guys, I'm getting the rug here. We're getting rugged here. It's going live to the mainstream right now. So thank you guys for showing up. Thank you to our guests. Thank you to our awesome avatars over here. And this has been the hour lunch break for you guys from Unconfiscatable. See you next time. All right, guys, to you in Twitter.